We'll be continuing with conditional rendering, and just like we have v if, we actually have v if, v else if, and v else. So if you have alternatives, like you show this UI or some other condition is met, you show some other, or some other condition is met, some other. So one of three or four or five, any number of alternatives, you can use this. Of course, you can manage things with v if itself, but this would be more efficient because once one of the conditions is met, the others are not checked. Just like how we like an if-else ladder works in programming. So to begin with, actually, we'll start with a simple example. Let's take this itself, the last thing that we did on conditional rendering. I'll make a copy of this. So we'll rename this conditional rendering. And this is using v if and v else to begin with. So what we'll do is we will show these alternatives, like we are showing this or this. Right? The main part about using v if and v else if and all is or v else is that these directives like v if v else if should be at the same level. They should be on sibling elements. Like if you apply v if here on this button, v else or v else if can only be applied on a sibling element like this one. Not only that, you should have these elements next to each other. Next to each other. They should be immediate siblings. You cannot have some other button or another div in between them. You cannot have that. Let's see what exactly that means. So you have these two buttons next to each other. They're siblings in the HTML structure. So you're applying v if here, and you can apply v else here. That is, if this condition is not met, then we know that this condition will be met, right? This is not equal to empty, and this is equal to empty. So this is basically uh, the complementary condition. Like it's a negation of this in this case. So v if and else can be applied. You don't need to give the condition. It's understood. So this is what I meant. They're next to each other. The siblings next to each other. So if this condition is met, this will not even be checked by view. It will know that this should not be displayed. If this condition is not met, it will know that this is the one to be displayed. So this is how it works. Of course, this is a completely different thing. We could like put one wrapper around this because this condition here around this, sorry, because this condition is basically coupon code equal to, sorry, this is coupon code not equal to empty. So we could wrap these two, this button and this in another div and put the condition there. So this, how you structure is up to you, and that would probably be a little more efficient because you're not checking this condition not equal to, sorry, not equal to empty twice. So maybe we can do that. So I will take this out, put it here, and we'll actually move this condition instead of giving it twice. We'll move this condition to a wrapper. So we'll build a wrapper. And move this condition to this div. So we get some performance benefit, all the minor really. So the coupon code is not null. That exists a coupon code. This button will be displayed to remove the coupon. And also it will tell that we have applied this coupon. And this button will otherwise be displayed. That is if it's really empty. VLs. Let's see that this works or not. Yeah, using remove coupon and applied coupon U30. Now click on this. It removed the coupon and it has now a button saying add coupon U30. So we'll click that and it comes back. So it's working fine. Now this can be extended. Here you have V if, and basically if that's not met, then it shows this V else part, this button. Now you even have a V if else kind of ladder. So many different conditions. You show one of these alternatives. So for this, we'll take a new example. We'll copy the template. This is again conditional rendering. And we are going to see V especially, of course, V if and all we've seen V else. Look at the V else if directive. So this is again conditional rendering. So what's this? Yeah. So we'll take a new scenario. Let's say you have you're selling some service, something like GitHub, where you have repositories, and people can opt for a free plan where they get unlimited public repositories, or a premium plan where they get unlimited private repositories, and a pro plan where they also get something like GitHub Copilot along with the plan. So basically, we'll show what is the current plan chosen, what's the user's plan, and we'll show the features of the plan based on what plan is chosen. For example, free will mention that you're on free plan and you can create unlimited public repositories. And then we'll also allow the user to switch to a different plan. So we'll show two buttons. If the user is on free plan, we'll show the premium and pro, two buttons to switch to premium, one or to pro. And similarly for the other plans. So the data, we'll have what plan the user is on. So let's say user is on free plan. And in the template, we will display uh, no copyright violation. Generally, I'll mention GitHub. Generally, as an example. And not that this is even the names of the plans or maybe the features, nothing like that. Generally, I'm taking an example. So we'll show the name of the plan user is on. So we know how to do that. We have to use some data. So let me remove all this, not necessary. So you are on so and so plan. So we'll say in a paragraph, you are on whatever plan. You get the free or pro or whatever. So next we'll display the plan details. So again, in a div or a section, so this is where we're going to use we if at all. So we'll have a div. So what do you think is the condition we have to give? So it would be plan is free, right? Plan is free. Great. So it's saying you can create an unlimited number of public repositories. All right. So the alternatives, we'll use V else if and V else. So basically two alternatives. And here we'll use else if. Else if. Else if requires a condition, right? Just like in programming, if and else if and all will require the condition, whereas the else part, which is when none of the conditions are met, it'll display, it'll it'll execute the else block, right? So similar. So else if needs condition. So the plan is premium, then you can create an unlimited number of private repositories. And if the plan is none of these, that is, it will be only pro. That's the only alternative. So we'll use v else. So if none of the above conditions are met, then we'll say that because it's assumed as the only plan left, pro plan, you can additionally, that is apart from creating unlimited number of repositories, you can additionally use, actually we'll not be displaying this line. So apart from the features available to premium users in the premium plan, you can use, let's say something like GitHub Copilot, right? So so we should see one of these lines displayed, right? This or this or this. Let's see that. So yes, it shows you're on free plan. You can create an unlimited number of public repositories. Great. Now, one of them will be displayed. We can see that if we change this to something like Pro, the else part would be the one that will be shown. Great. You're on Pro plan, and apart from the features are on Premium, you can use GitHub Copilot. Great. So it's working. The we else. Important thing, they should be siblings. They should be at the same level, and nothing should be between these. You can't have some other dev or some other paragraph or anything in between. That you can't have. Now we'll also allow the user to switch over the plans, just like we have done in the coupon thing. So one more part will have one more section. You want to switch over to some other plan. This part you can actually give it a try and come back. I'll just wait for a moment. So I hope you have tried it out, and your solution looks something like this in terms of logic. We'll have one div, rather we need not have a div. You could take different approaches for this, right? You could have like three divs, each with two buttons. So we'll have six buttons. But a more efficient approach would be to set the directives, these VF else directives, on the button itself. So you might have ended up with a solution with six buttons, but this would be slightly more a shorter solution, cleaner solution. We have three buttons, one for switching over to free and one for switching over to premium and pro. And these will be displayed based on the current plan. So this would be displayed if you are on premium or pro. So basically it's not the free plan. So V if it's not the free plan. Of course, you could use, in this case, even V else if, just like we have done here, and then each would have, each of these three, this would have two buttons, this would have two buttons, this would have two buttons. But as I said, this is a little more efficient in terms of readability and cleaner. I feel it's cleaner. So V if the plan is not free, right? So similarly for the others, the plan is not premium. We're just using VF here on each. And if the plan is not pro, then show the switch to pro. With the closing quote. Quote. Yeah, so we see the other two things. Switch to free plan, switch to premium plan. Of course, we can also add the bootstrap classes. And also align it for as a good practice, these different attributes, directives, attributes, whatever. Maybe I should have just completed one button and then copied over. Lot of work. All right. So things are fine. Yes. We have nice buttons. Now these buttons should work. So we'll set up the usual click handler. What do we need to do? Switch over to free plan. So plan is free. Similarly for the rest, we also just put all these directives together to see it clearly and the loan attribute class together. That is first have these and then have, sorry, yeah, and then have this class. Yes, it's pro. Okay, great. Now we should even see it functional, these buttons. Switch out to free plan, click, and it's free plan, and the data changes. And Vue.js reevaluates the UI, it re-renders. Great. So it's working. Right. So everything seems to be working fine. So that's about it. That's how we can use we if, we else if, we else.